I've got to
Welcome.
get my chat
You're
up.
supposed to do the whole welcome to the Michigan Bros Grow Show episode. I don't even know.
You'd think by now I have like a nice script written, but I
I
don't.
know, or you had the intro song and
17.
everything for the late sesh. You were singing and bopping and everything.
Well, sometimes
Treating
it
the
happens.
live show like crap, man. Not fair.
Uh,
What's up,
we need
everybody?
an updated song.
He's probably tired from the fries that he just ate with us at dinner.
Oh yeah, we did go to Clayvon's.
That was
Oh, you
good.
got the extra crispies, huh?
Yeah.
That was super
Yep.
good. I always like trying new pizza places.
But yeah, so welcome everybody to the Michigan Bros Grow Show, episode 217. Hope everybody's doing good. It's been a busy weekend for me. Just cleaning, but
And
I
watching
got.
my dogs. I appreciate it.
Yep, I got caught up on all that. I hung out with Mr. Quibs and Boris. I told Boris, the funny thing was, I was telling Boris, you're just a side character to Mr. Quibbly. Like
Oh,
Mr.
if I
Quibbly
piss
is
them
the full player character, and so he shouldn't steal his food or anything.
off. Yeah,
And
good luck with that. He's gonna eat any food that
well, I also took human precautions and put the food up if Quibbly didn't eat it.
I noticed that. Thank you.
But but yeah, that was cool. Saw Tara and Nuttree today. They came by after the Fledge, so I was able to get them some triple burger.
Oh yeah.
We
Shit is
traded
good.
we traded some Spartan, so I got some GMO from Snosberry
Oh,
Farms. Yeah, it's pretty good rosin. And
nice.
Loves
Canola.
GMO so much that just like me, so I had to share that
He
with him.
is a GMO for sure.
yeah, we gotta do shirts.
We're finally getting to try his fatso. That's what we're smoking on right now. It's super
That's what I
good.
got here. Yeah, I gave him some Fatso and some
That
Government
stuff to fill the
Oasis.
room. That's one of those grind it up and fill the room with a smile. That fat so.
It's Fatso is something times GMO.
Figure out.
Yeah, that was by chance. That was a coworker had that
I
one.
still
And
think my favorite
it
of
was a
your
cut.
recent stuff is Government Oasis. I still think that's my favorite of your recent
That's
stuff.
what we're gonna smoke next.
Chernobyl,
Yeah,
Chernobyl, I like more than Government Oasis, but I like the Chernobyl flavor. It's the Government Oasis high though that I'm really.
All
well,
right, so
Government Oasis
your,
is a what?
it's effects that's determining your preference. Then,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, exactly. Because it's another. I don't know if that's a GMO
See,
crop. Is it?
Fatso gives me ripped. So Fatso is GMO times Legend OG, and
And what's
Legend OG is OG Kush,
Government
basically.
O? What's the Government O?
Government O, it was the Cushmans times F1 Derb times
That's right.
Gushers, all that times GMO.
I say that's some flavor smashing there, boy. Holy
Yeah, that's like
Yeah,
it's like a little
honestly,
everything.
like
Oh,
I was
old school.
worried. It grows great. It does everything great. It looks great. It's easy to trim. Node spacing's good. Yielded good. Really good.
Looks good. The bud
I
looks
think it
good.
will wash good or at least BHO good. But when I was growing it, it doesn't have like a rub. Oh yeah, or fill the room smell. The
Even the
smell
nugs,
didn't
like
come till curing. Curing it came out, and when you break it up.
that's when it really comes out. Like it's
Yeah.
sealed inside for sure.
Well,
And once
maybe
you
it's
break it
got
up, you just
really thick walls on them trichome heads, and until they rupture, you can't get the terps. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Yeah, so we'll
It's
see.
really
I want
fucking
to
good.
run it again and send it off to Rosin and BHO.
Yeah, we got to
Shout
do it.
out to Tara.
Able to-
There's little containers you can get that are split in half.
Oh,
Yeah.
dope.
It's imagine a gram container, but then they made a glass rim wall in the middle, so you can put
Yeah, half a
half
gram on each side. I love
Yep,
that.
or something. Yeah,
Like a
so
mini
we might
flight.
try that out. Yeah, exactly like a dual flight.
A split one. So that's where I got the idea, was from Snosberry Farm. So shout out Snosberry. They have their
Yeah.
one and their GMO and a side by side. And then I was thinking, oh my gosh, what about Bake's triple burger with the rosin? And then for Goalie's part, I was just like, yeah, this is gonna be awesome.
Yep.
That's cool.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
just selling.
We can call it like the round trip.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Because it's related to the flight. I'll have to smoke more and think on
That's like
that.
2 flights, man.
Yeah, the year.
Well, 2 flights. You go there and you come back. It's a round trip.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but yeah.
Brilliant.
Yep. I actually was just playing.
I was thinking
What's
double
this game
barrel. You were
called?
thinking airplanes.
Well, I was just playing airport CEO Heligo, and it's like airport builder. So that's probably why. But no, I also cloned. I got the Banana Conda cloned up. So, which Tara brought some Banana Conda over that I was able to dab
Isn't that so
today.
funny how this works?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I
That's
love life
awesome.
coincidences like that.
Love it.
So,
So I happened upon New Age Hippie today at the Fledge, and I'm surprised I have not run into him before. I cannot believe it. Or met him, but I got some Banana Conda.
Nice.
What's the terps?
It's not banana.
Okay.
Definitely not banana. So that's the first thing that it'll be misleading. You're going to go into it thinking that. I think it's definitely a fruity line. It's not real gassy or anything like that, like my normal stuff, but it's got a great high.
I got gas. Actually, got gas off of it. My first thought when she was saying it wasn't gassy, I was
You don't
thinking
know
it
what
was.
you're talking about.
I would say the banana kind of plants I have in veg smell kind of banana-y to me, but that I haven't got them out of veg yet.
Yeah, no banana on this at all.It's a super good high though. Got that, and then from New Coast Nectars, I got their new one, Big Wild. That smells really good.
Big Wild. That sounds cool.
Yeah, definitely fruity.
Oh, that's kind of stuff I like.
I love that fruity.
So do I.
Damn, I'm hooked on the fruity. I just
definitely
can't.
would like up your alley. So yeah, we had a good time. Got some new flower today. Got some Granddaddy Purple from Red and Becca.
Nice.
Did you try it yet, Tigra?
What'd you say?
Did you get a chance to try it yet?
No, it's coming up next. It's in the lineup.
We really enjoyed those joints you guys gave us.
Oh,
I
good.
can't remember
Thank
which one, but they were delicious. One of them was
Yeah.
great.
Appreciate
One of them reminded me of strawberries and cream. The other one reminded me of Green Room, which was really cool, which is basically the terp profile of our high CBD cultivar. Shout out to Hambone.
yeah.
He's in chat or not. He was up there and shared a whole flight of his stuff with us, and he actually grew out our Great Ape Green Room, and it came out pretty Green Room dominant.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I've seen like the Granddaddy come out pretty Granddaddy dominant. The Green Room is like super like pine, floral, skunk. You know, it's kind of like that pine skunk type of earthy flavor, which goes really well with some of the stuff like Flow, Citrique, and some. I'm excited to see what happens with like a strawberries and cream because we've got seeds for all that stuff out there. So.
Red, can you describe your Granddaddy Perp for people? Pat G in the chat was asking if you could describe the smell.
I always say that it smells like gasoline, like when you're at the pump, with the undertone of like grapes. So you're near a vineyard, right? And this vineyard's hauling grapes, or this vineyard truck is hauling grapes, and he swings by the local gas station. And he's filling up, and a handful of grapes spill out, and you step on them right into the gasoline puddle that's there on the ground, right before you flick a cigarette, of course.
So specific.
Pretty much in that range. Little gassy, little earth. It smells like Bubba. Heavy on Bubba. It's old school NorCal. It is not Ken's GDP. It is something that when I asked if it was Ken's GDP, the keeper of the cut looked at me like I insulted his firstborn child. He said, no, that is not Ken's GDP. The person who got it to Michigan paid a couple $1,000s for the cut back in, I don't know, 2010, 2012, something like that. It came around quite a while ago. And I've been holding on to it since 2015, running the same cut.
A long time.
It's a clone only. Yeah. Same keepers, the flow. They had the flow. Originally DJ Short, but this flow was, I believe, Dutch Passion, which is actually the original DJ Short. So DJ Short did some collabing with Dutch Passion. They sort of, according to DJ, stole his genetics and did some stuff under his back with his genetics, and that's the flow that we have is supposedly a Dutch Passion version of flow. Somebody's keeper cut. We got that about the same time as we got that GDP from dudes lines. Yeah, really good people. Same family as Dan, you know him as Detroit Nuggets, or as Organica, or what was the seed company?
Greenfish Seeds.
Huge Greenfish Seeds, yeah. His brother was the keeper of those. Was the mentor of my best man / mentor, taught me how to grow hydro and stuff like that. And also who hooked me up with those clones. So they've kind of been in our local family for a long time, but I'm the only one that holds on to them now. I've given them back to my best man, who got him into the conventional scene for a little while, but the granddaddy's just not viable in that scene. I'm pretty sure they kicked it out, but it kind of goes back and forth between he and I now, the keepers of that. I want to S1 it. From my understanding, not many people have this old NorCal GDP.
So what would your process to S1 it? What would you do?
We'd make up some colloidal silver. Yeah, we got some old silver laying around. We could make some up. Or I might order some. We'll see. Maybe I'll hit up 2020 Mendocino and get some as far as knows. But I'll probably get a little tent and get a couple clones going, a few. Maybe I'll probably hit something else with that female as well. But really, the project is to S1 it. We'll see how long it takes us to.
So if you guys, when you're going to do that, would you do multiple plants? Would you reverse multiple plants, or just one singular plant, or just one area of a plant?
I'll reverse a couple of them.
Okay.
Just for the sake of
viability.
Yeah, viability. Getting closer to 100% pollination, whatever. Just making sure that it herms on me. Herms. Okay. It reverses on me, I suppose. This is difficult thinking with him screaming at me right now. Sorry.
That's okay.
I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but a long, long time ago on the Michigan Bros Grow Show, we'd interviewed some people from the west side of the state that were trying to get a license. And they were called the Lake Michigan Cannabis Company. And I've been following them ever since on Instagram. And they now recently have gotten their license, and they're starting their commercial grow, and they've got plants in the ground and everything now, and they're doing it 100% organic. So I'm not sure if they catch the show every time or not, but I want to shout them out, and I think that's awesome. So
yeah.
Shout out to the Lake Michigan Cannabis Company.
Yep.
Cool.
They were right next to Freedom Green where they started up at, and I'm excited to see them up and roll. And
I never got a chance to get up there and see their stuff when I was up there to see it.
I haven't physically been there, but I've talked to them. Definitely like to get over there, and be great to see what they're doing.
Bug guy. Yeah, the bug guy.
I'm being told by Val Potheads that Blue Kiss has told her she would love it if I would blow her a kiss. There's a kiss out to Blue Kiss, my fairy weed mother.
Fairy weed mother.
Blow and kiss.
Okay.
Here's Blue Kiss.
Did
Yeah, I just popped off the second round of that cherry paloma from Blue Kiss, and yeah, she even banged her out even better this round. So I'm excited to share that with you guys. I hope I can meet up with you other folks too to get you guys some of that in your hands and possibly share the cut with you guys because it is a really special cut.
Nice. What's it like?
It's a cherry paloma. Oh, it's real. It's trop leaning, but
Okay.
a mild cherry trop.
So Terry doesn't want it.
No, I do. It's good.
All right, I thought you hated Trop.
It's not
I got
the.
flour right now. Or no, it's not
It's
in
in
flour.
flour.
It's in flour. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have it in flour too right now.
Okay.
It's a good one.
I love Trop. I love Trop. So you already got your singing my.
It's a smooth trop, not a take your taste buds away kind of trop. It's
Okay.
very, very smooth.
I think Big takes Trop too. I don't think he likes
Cherry.
yeah, I'm a huge
The
fan.
cherry comes out a
Maybe a
lot.
little leather in there.
Okay. There's a cherry come out strong in it.
Yeah, maybe up
Hey.
front.
Okay, so no.
Up front it is, but on the back end, it's a really nice, really.
Have
nice.
you had it tested to see if there's any CBD in it?
No, I haven't. I wish it was easier for us to test. For us to test,
Yeah.
drive several hours away. So
Oh, that sucks.
it's unfortunate.
It's just expensive for us. Like, I mean, the place here in Jackson, it's like $70.
It's still, when I think of what it costs a metric compared to what it costs us, it's
Yeah,
not bad.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Of it that way. So and yeah, we can do full panels for less than $100 is a very good deal.
That is cool. I think it's $70 per test here. So 70 for the cannabinoids, 70 for the terpenes.
So 140 still ain't bad for something. I should though. There's a couple of them. I'd like to do the GG4, I guess, and the primal much.
Well, I know a lot of the CBD cultivars are a lot of cherry. There are a lot of cherry terps. So I was wondering if there's something to like CBD and always being having that kind of terp profile. So when I hear people say they find one that's cherry, I usually wonder, I wonder if there's any CBD in that too.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Maybe I can get with JR Token. He might have tested it out because it's his cut. So.
Oh, cool. Shout out to JR.
Out of all the genetics I've taken to the lab, none of them have had CBD in them.
Really? Wow. Even the green room? Or you haven't had that one tested?
I haven't had that one taken to
Okay.
I've only ran males. Well, I've ran outdoor females on those. I generally just don't take stuff from outdoor to the lab for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I just assume it to be have mold or something. I don't know. Maybe it's this year we did good. I'd love to take stuff from this year to the lab and get it checked out. We had a great year without mold or anything. We still have plants outside where it's gonna be 34 degrees, 33 degrees tonight. We got our hippie crasher.
I gotta get my hoses in.
I still have plants out. And it's gonna be 25 tonight up here.
Ooh.
And I tell you, they're not even fading at all. I'm not a soil grower, and man, I cannot get these plants to fade. These
Like a
grows
sunshine day.
Bro, it's because it's cold. They're green still?
Yeah.
Dude,
I cannot believe it.
I feel like we've had like 16 days of sunshine this year. It's been maybe.
Hold on, it's coming. It's coming. Like 2-3 more days from now, it's gonna be beautiful, guys.
Yeah, that's what they say, and then boom, it's all of a sudden this weird.
I'm putting that positive energy out there, Red. It's happening.
I got a lot of exterior houses to paint yet, so we're battling weather right now. It's not good.
I went out and looked at my Mac, the only thing I have outside, and all of its fan leaves, not the buds so much, but every fucking fan leaf is dark fucking purple. It's like she has been cold. Yeah. So, but she's looking beautiful though. I love her.
Beautiful, the pictures you took. What about?
I want to get out there, get some more. She's even more. The contrast is so much, with the trichomes and then the dark purple leaves in the background. It's super cool to see. But I already took a branch like weeks ago. It's hanging drying right now because I wanted to get some of that flower because it was looking so good.
So do you know
like she's gonna make
difference it on it outside? Is it more pronounced or
what's that?
is the terp difference any? from it.
I haven't had a good chance to really let her, she's still drying right now, but just walking up and smelling it, it smells exactly the same to me.
Okay.
It's like I can,
Awesome.
that's one that's, like my little head stash, the one that it's a pain in the butt to grow, but I kick it in the corner. It's always in my grow, and I always have a round of it, so I'm never out. My little head stash, Mac 1, man. It's my medicine for when I need, for insomnia. If I can't sleep, it almost always will put me to sleep. So, so that smell is just a smell that I was like, I know now. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
It reminds me of cereal. That's the
cereal.
yeah.
Nice.
When I smoke, that's what it reminds me of cereal. Marshmallow cereal.
I love it.
Tara had some gelati that smells like Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah, it didn't taste like any gelati or smell like any gelati I've had in the past. This was different.
Yep.
It was definitely Fruity Pebbles.
You know what?
For girl, you want to get that one then.
Yeah.
I got a lemon one. I'm really excited to get you guys to try too.
Oh, nice.
It's something else. It's really pledge cleaner lemon. Just take your breath away.
I like lemon. So that'd be cool.
Heavy lemon.
I kind of have that with Vortex a little bit. It's kind of lemony, but not like what you're saying.
Yeah, it's amazing.
There's something in that Vortex, the Space Queen, whatever the Space Queen flavor is. I can taste it in the Vortex. I can taste it in the Cuvée. I can taste it in the Chernobyl. It's that common flavor, and it's like now I want Space Queen. Which good luck finding that. But it's interesting to smoke different cultivars, but they've used the same plants to breed with.
Yeah, it's amazing. You can pick it out.
Yeah, well, actually, it was me sitting there with Anything Grows with Emily. We were sitting there smoking, and because it was funny because the way it fell, Baked had just grown his first Chernobyl harvest, and I brought a sack down there to share with her, and I just had some Cuvée that it was a cut that I'd found and given to Indica, and I don't even have it anymore. He's got it. Yeah, and shout out to Indica B. And so he came and shared some of that flower with me. So I had the Chernobyl, I had the Cuvée, and I had my Vortex that just harvested at the same time. So I had all three buds, and we just sat there and smoked all three, and it's like we could taste that. We could just taste that common terp. I can't explain what that terp is. We call it the Space Queen terp. But we could taste that common terp between all three, and our minds were kind of blown because it wasn't like we knew that they had that common ancestry at first. We just smoked it, and we're like, that reminds us that same taste of what we tasted in Chernobyl. And we looked up the lineage, and we just saw, that they all had that same. There we go, anise. I think that might be it, Chesmanian Devil. He says, I had a light taste of anise in my Vortex. So maybe that is maybe a little bit of anise. The Space Queen might have that in it. Which also is prevalent in like Durban Poison, which is one of my favorite concentrates from Winewood. It's got that anise kind of taste. Maybe that's what it is. But Wheeze in the Juice says Romulan must be what makes up part of Space Queen. I don't know, but there's something in Space Queen that's good that interests me now. But it's cool to be able
Queen's,
to.
Yeah, Romulan C99.
Oh, C99. Yeah, okay, makes sense.
Yep. Yeah, that seems to be the common denominator. I'm looking at Blood Wreck, though. Trainwreck times Trinity. That's Blood Wreck times Jack the Ripper made Chernobyl. And Jack the Ripper is where that Space Queen is.
That's cool. Eric in the chat says that Mr. Toad might have it. So that's cool.
Oh, that's sick. I was talking to Nuttree and Tara about having Cheesequake. I really like that one.
I like that Cheesequake a lot myself.
Yeah.
Wasn't Nuttree grew that one or Tara? One of you guys did.
One of them had it. And, yeah.
I like that shit a lot.
Got some more.
Yeah, we have some more. Excited to pop those.
Who are we running them with? Who else is running them? We're gonna both run them.
I wish I don't have any.
Somebody else was talking about having some Cheesequake. Who was it?
Who bred it?
Not me.
TGA.
TGA.
You have a
Subcool.
TGA cheesequake? Yeah. Well, we're talking about doing a subcool run.
Yeah, but we're talking about doing a TGA run.
We're gonna pop all our subcools.
Hell yeah.
Maybe not all of them. I think we have too many. Well, I guess we might still have.
I think we have
Because they're all
plenty.
regs, yeah.
That's
Most
what I'm
of them are
saying.
regs.
He didn't do
that
any
works.
films. We'll just do them all.
If we got all them
But-
right, might as well do a breeding project after that.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
he's already
that's, if we
Paige has
find
already
males,
popped
we
his,
keep them.
he popped his breeding cherry already. He's got the first breeding project in
Yeah,
underway.
they're in flower like week 3, 4.
Yeah, Project C.
Oh, they could look the kind of the same. So hopefully, they're full of seeds.
How far along in flower are they?
Like week 3, I'd say
Oh, well,
day
Yeah,
21
they're not
ish.
gonna show seeds that fast. Come on, man.
Well, here's my thing: is it one particle of pollen per pistil equals one seed,
Yes.
or does one pollen tell the plant you now have the DNA to do what
No.
make seeds everywhere? Yeah. So
No,
see, I'm not gonna get that many seeds because the pollen coagulated quick after the freezer. I went immediately from the freezer down to the grow room, popped the tube. Because little vials, little seed vials, basically.
Oh, those okay.
And it was fine for a minute or two, but then you could tell it was like it was like clumping up.
Melting kinda.
And so, well, it was probably just getting moisture, and so like I still put what I could on where I could. So we'll see. But I mean, there's probably some that got some.
I just poured out my mason jar, and I went out there with a little with this right here actually.
Hell
Yeah.
And I just went out to my plant outside because fuck the neighbors, right? And I just went and put it all over my fucking plant. And I don't know how more to do it because it's supposed to be hard to pollinate a Mac 1, so I just gave it hell. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I gave the Mac 1 a bunch.
You gotta smack it with a mail.
Yeah.
I don't have the mail's not alive. I don't have it.
I remember having the mail, and that's the thing. It's like when a mail's going, it's like every day it's spitting out millions of pollen particles.
Yeah, that's how I did the Vortex the Project V. I had the 2 mails in there. Oh my god, I couldn't believe how much pollen.
Good way to get a lot of seeds, I think.
It covers everything, all your fans,
Yeah.
all your equipment. It is such a bitch to clean.
Yeah.
It stays in your room for like 3 runs after that.
Yeah, dude. They're cleaning. You're like, how is there more? What the fuck happened? I just cleaned this. That's why I did the pollination outside this time. I was like, yeah, fuck it. That's much better.
Yeah, for sure.
Grape lime Ricky. That sounds good. I never heard of that one.
I'm not a big fan of any male-like names in my cannabis. It's just bad juju.
Grape lime though.
Well, you can call it grape lime. That's cool.
That's part of it. I don't know what a Ricky tastes like, so.
I hope not. Jeez.
Saying. Grape lime. I do know what grape and lime tastes like. That'd be a good one. It was like raspberry smash. Because after I got busted, I didn't keep up with TJ. That was right when he was starting his peak. So I missed a lot of the later strains.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so when we found that stash, I was like, raspberry smash. No, I got that one from Attitude after he died.
Do you ever think of that stash, bro? Because I still do.
Bro, like, where is that bitch? I texted you multiple times. Don't you want to get rid of them? You're not gonna grow them.
I know, man. It was so heartbreaking.
Yeah, he probably threw them out or something like that.
Oh my god! Don't even say that.
I hope not, because you could, at the very least, you could take them all off the thing and put them in a shoebox and throw out the stand if you wanted. But the stand was even kind of cool. It was like that neon
I offered
acrylic.
to buy that, and she said she was keeping that.
Yeah, I hope so.
Because I offered to buy that first thing. I said, how much for the actual case? She was like, well, there's a lot of seeds in there. I'm like, no, for the fucking case. I want the case that all this is in, the display case. And she's like, oh, no, Subgate made that for me or something. I had it made for me. I want to keep it. I was like, okay.
That sucks, man. That would have been cool.
Yeah. No, but she still hooked me up. She gave me a book that was signed by Sub, I think.
Well, and it's just like, it's
You hooked me up
like
with fun stuff.
it wasn't the right timing, you know, with my money.
Me
Otherwise,
too.
like if right now, I would have bought. I would be like, just I'll be right back, and I'll buy everything, you know,
Yeah.
or I'll figure it out.
I'll say that's not for sale. I'll be right back with cash. How much for the
Yeah,
the
we're
lot?
gonna take it all.
And then I would have called all you guys and we would have pooled our fucking money and we would have got it the whole case.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Speaking of books and signed, I got a book and signed right here from Jack
Yeah,
Greenstock.
shout out Jack, man. I got that same book.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I got that same one.
Signed right on the inside page right there.
Hell yeah, it's a great book.
It's an awesome book. Shout out.
I think I have that one, but yeah,
He's working on the sequel to
I
50
gotta
Shades of
find my
Purple.
books.
I want to give a big shout out to Fergoli and the panel members over at Variables. You put on an awesome show on Friday night, man. I cannot get enough of that episode. I've had to go back to it 3 times. There's so much information in that episode. If you have any inclination about terpenes or hash, man, you guys out there, check out the Variables podcast last Friday's episode with Bubble Man. It was fabulous, dude. Thank you.
Big ups to Bubble Man. I mean, he's got probably more experience. He got into this game when most of us were babies. You know what I'm saying? Like children, just.
Dude, he was talking like he was like,
forever.
"Oh, I did this in 1997." I was like, I was 7 years old, about to get my first Game Boy. Hey, that's nuts.
He said he started right around 90, 91. He got into the quote unquote Wii game, if you will. And then 93, he got the first hemp cultivation license in Manitoba, Canada in over 73 years, the first one. And so it's like he was making progress way early, man. It was cool to sit down and talk with him. Like I've been a fan of his and watched him for, probably over a decade, I guess, at this point. But to actually like really just, face to face or whatever, have a discussion. It was really cool. So shout out to Bubble Man. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, definitely go back and watch if you can. And I got to shout out Jack from Armistice because he made an edit quicker than I could. I wanted to bring up or basically post a short on my YouTube channel of, and maybe I can pull it up real quick, of Bubble Man explaining where the term Chaz came from. And I had no idea, and I don't know.
Cool story.
Oh my gosh, so I guess this is like probably a 60-second reel. I'm going to share my screen shortly.
Oh no, we're going to get a strike. We don't have permission from the
Is it share? No.
If I get a cease and desist,
I'm taking all your money.
It was a great episode, man. Great episode.
It was.
Big, if you want to share this, I'll.
Oh, there it is down there.
Hopefully the audio comes through. Yell at me if it's not. There it goes.
So where the concept of chazzing your banger comes from, here you go.
It wasn't Brett Maverick. That's a U.S. guy that I kind of learned.
No, but dude, how about that?
There's a butane. Oh, that was sketchy as fuck right there.
His name was mentioned in the fucking chat today. And I'm like, well, do you know the story?
Oh, word up. I got my weed card and shit.
His roommate, Chaz, who used to torch his bangers instead of cleaning them. He'd take an oil hit and then he'd just hit it. And so he was like, bro, you got to stop chazzing my bangers. He's like, that's how it became chazzing.
No shit. It just makes sense to me. Like, I thought it was just like elementary, like this.
Dude, 100%. He told that story, dude. It's from a guy named Chaz. So D-Nail's partner is named Chaz. So we were talking about Brett Maverick just the other day, and then he got brought up today.
Amazing.
Huh.
That's cool.
So apparently that's where the term Chaz your banger came from.
Well,
I thought
chazzing
that's so
is
crazy.
technically cleaning your banger, cleaning your dirty banger, I guess. But
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
While fucking up the
I'm guilty.
Yeah,
everybody I think is. I mean I done it with my nice fingers. It is what it is.
I mean, with an e-nail, it's like impossible not to. You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna disassemble it every time you take a dab? It doesn't make sense. But let's just keep a cheap one on there, I guess.
Yeah.
What's your guys' definition of cheap? Like cheap banger?
Yeah, I don't think
35,
mine's Chaz,
25,
but
I don't
can burn the shit off all day
25 to $40
Yeah.
is cheap category.
60 and up would be your upper.
I
I
don't
mean, you
know.
can.
It really goes for me. I'm buying something that's $25 or I'm buying something that's 150. Like Joel Hale, what's the other ones? Quave.
Evan Shore.
Yeah, Evan Shore Bear. Well, that's confusing. There's a Bear that makes really high quality glass, but then there's Bear Quartz, which I have now, which is the $25, which is solid.
That's a good one too.
And
Yeah, either
and
one's
that's,
good, man.
I highly recommend them, but I'm done. I just don't want to buy another expensive one.
Well, let's say this: when you're looking for an affordable banger, what are you looking for? Me, I'm looking for jointless. You know, I like a round bottom banger myself.
I
I find
wanted the round. They didn't have it when I
they're
went.
easier to clean. I feel I get more of the concentrate. I
So
don't know. I
like
get it better.
normally I go into a 5-day research fest and then I order something offline, but this time it was like a day of the moment. I was like, I'm gonna find a banger today in person.
Yeah.
And then I looked up some brands and then I just found that I had to go up to Lansing to get it, but they have a whole case of this Bear Quartz stuff and they have round bottoms, flat bottoms, turf slurpers, blenders,
I like the
everything.
blender.
And they have them in like they have jumbo ones, this small ones. They have 10 mil. They had a lot of 10 mil, which sucked because
Yeah.
I don't have anything 10 mil.
I got a little
But yeah, it was just quality. So
bugger.
quality for a price because
Where was that
bangers.
at, Baked? Because I need to get a 10 mil just like this.
That was Wild. It's not Wild Bills. It's like Wild Side or something to
One of those
smoke
knockoff
shop.
ones.
Where's it at?
Yeah, Wild
In what geographical location is this
Lansing.
establishment? Oh, Lansing. It's not
It's
too
a
far.
Wild Side Smoke Shop,
Okay.
but it's the one that's in the south. There's two of them in Lansing. There's so many smoke shops too. I forgot because I get distracted by dispensaries. But
My nearly
it's
70-year-old dad was getting a kick out of it the other day. He's
I
like,
want to
"Man,
get the
there's
right
smoke
one.
shops everywhere now." Well,
It's
yeah.
the one on
Look at that big business,
Cedar
man.
Street, South Cedar
And
Street,
those jobs we're
Lansing.
providing.
They have a
South
big
Cedar. Okay.
display. Yeah, they have a big display with Bear Quartz, and if I go back and they have a round bottom 14 mil. They had a round bottom 14 mil when I went, but it's that 45-degree angle, not
Oh,
90.
Yeah.
I can't do that with my rig, so
Right.
I
I
couldn't
need
get
a
that.
45.
But I want a round bottom, and maybe a new like turf slurper or something, because they had a couple different types of turf slurpers, which was cool.
Are you gonna get like an auto spinner, or do you not really care?
Yeah, they had a lot of auto spinners too, which was sick,
what
with the little
auto
just
spinner?
directional holes. So all you need is a carb cap.
Okay.
See, I
So
need one of
And
those. I need one of those 45s, like you're saying, because I have one like
yeah,
this, which is a
yeah,
10.
yep,
because you got a 40.
that's a heady piece. But yeah,
That's one I got gifted, man. And then this one, I don't like. I want a 90 slurper, so I need a slurper on this little 10 mil. So I need a 90 and a 45 10 mil.
yeah. I think because see, that's what I was gonna say. I wanted my price point jumps because my belief is the 60 to like $100 range is a bunch of $25 quartz sold at 60 to 80. Mainly quartz is quartz. When I pay like for the Joel Hale, you get those nice joints like you're talking about. You know it's never gonna fall apart on you, and it should be of the highest quality quartz if there's grades of quartz. But at this point in the game, a $25 Bear Quartz banger is to me it's like I'm trying to find a good analogy like a car part or something. It's so standard
Yeah, I mean,
that
times have
you're
changed
not
with
gonna get
the
something
years.
that's like bad for you or gonna break on you or like it used to. Like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, you might heat up a banger that joint fucking snaps and near makes you not able to have kids. So like that's a
I'm not
dead
hearing a
feed mine.
downside. Not
I
hearing a
was just
downside yet.
heating that shit up the other day. I still don't trust any banger, so I was heating it up like this, over myself, and I went, wait, and I went over the desk, and I moved over the desk. Just if it's gonna fall, at least burn my mat or whatever.
I've
But
smoked any a living room carpet.
Oh,
yeah, see,
But
yeah,
Got my ass
Oh
kicked.
yeah, dude, I've dropped bangers, and then
Yeah.
it gets like not like plastic shit on it. And you're like, oh, how am I gonna get that off? You know,
Lost that
melted plastic or something.
$25
Like yeah, synthetic
I
carpet
am
hairs.
I am right now looking at a e-nail coil pattern in my carpet. It may have been there
Nice.
for about 2 years now.
Yeah, that one you
So-
can't blame on the dog.
I like to see those e-nails now that you can just lift your fucking banger up out of it, and it it just warms it. It's not continuously heating it.
Yeah, those are cool.
while
The
you're
one
lifting.
is he Tara? Is he talking about the thing that like was at Yeti's party?
The Terp sous vide,
It's,
maybe.
yeah, it's just a big tower.
Yeah, and it's just a heat coil.
Yeah, that was very neat. That was very neat, but it's also, I guess they can make it easy enough to heat any type of banger.
You're not talking about that.
No, they're not.
No, that's a jumbo. You know.
I'll try to pull it up. It's like an induction.
That'd work. Just set that up on the table and put your fucking banger on it.
It's like a hot man.
Yeah.
Well, it comes with this little stand too, so you can like sit your rig on the stand, and it's perfectly sitting on top of the Terp sous vide or whatever.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
then you lift it up and
And then you just put your dab in. It's ready to go. The temp's usually always.
Did you find it for Rolly?
Yeah, hold on. Share screen.
I'm on the website, but
Well, I'm going to
it's
show
taking
you. I'm
forever
actually going to
load.
share you a story from the Third Eye Craft Affair today.
Oh, here.
It's the next one. It's coming up right now. Here we go.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
So,
Oh, I like the little lift. That's a lift that you get in labs to hold to raise your beakers and stuff.
Yep.
Cool.
yeah, so it's basically a mini like motorcycle lift. It's pretty
Yep.
cool.
I've got one in my lab. He's let's see if I can pause it there.
Yeah.
So he's
those are
I
that's
think he's
I
handing
say
out
it
tabs.
looks like it comes with one.
I think it comes with it,
Yep, one pipe jack, one. Yep.
and that's it's like a jack.
It's here. I'll show you. It's $700.
$700.
So it jumps from a turbo meter.
But think about it,
but
like having to get get your butane or whatever thing you're firing it with.
Oh, that does. Man, you're making me a sucker, Terry. You're making me want to buy one of those fucking.
hey, well, I'll split one. We can have parties.
I mean, it seems like it's definitely on the safer side, and I think
Put one on there.
It is. It's pretty neat, and you can dial it in.
well, you can clean your
Um,
banger with them too. That's kind of the cool thing. Like,
Oh, okay.
it's just induction, so you're
Whoa,
not really
you see
switching
that?
it.
That's a Borgon. He's a glass blower I've always wanted because he puts a little tree inside.
That's cool.
They're stupid expensive though.
Look how special that banger though was. It was like made for it. It was so long. Look at the neck on it. That's a
Well,
long
it's just
banger.
like, oh, this, yeah, that's true. So then, yeah, it's like, do you need? But like, look at this one. Oh yeah, that's pretty weird. Mine definitely doesn't look like that.
No, those are like some special
Once
made
it
bangers.
took me a little bit to get the hang of using it, and there for a while I wasn't even using it, getting it to cool down and that. But I watched this video that Indica B sent me, and now I know how to do it the right way.
I mean, at least it comes with its own case, and it looks like at least.
I did
with it too.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't really.
Yeah,
Yes,
perfectly in a
man.
custom TSP.
Fuck it, I take it out of the case and it'll never go back in. It's on the desk.
Just be sitting.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. But see, something like that, that's the very first one I've ever seen. So it's like, it'll get, knocked off pretty soon.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen a really, really fancy version of it, and it was like thousands of dollars, and it was really, really cool. Somebody like makes them like it's just like a little kind of like hobby that he's got going. He doesn't smoke, doesn't do anything like that. It's just this little hobby, and it is the sleekest looking thing. Meg Farms has one. I'm not sure the name of the guy that does it, but it's a super cool thing, and it's the exact same thing. You just stick your banger in there. In 10 minutes, you lift off, put another one on.
Wasn't it pretty loud?
They should make it like a little oven.
You can turn the fan down and tone that down a little bit.
Just make a little sit on the table oven. You know what I mean? And you can drop your banger in it through the top. And the oven is just a heater. So it's just the shape of a square. And it's just like an oven.
An oven opens from the front.
I know, but I'm saying instead of having an opening on the front, just have a box like an oven that heats up like an oven. So a square that
Okay.
heats up, a square that heats up.
Yep.
Then instead of 4 burners on the top, it's just 4 holes, so you put 4 bangers in it, with the necks hanging out the side, so they don't have to be heated up. You just want the banger part to heat up, and then
Yeah.
just set that thing at a certain temperature, and you just fucking pick them up
I
and
mean,
take them out.
I dab, but at no point, not one point in my life, have I needed to heat up 4 bangers at one time.
Well baked. If you share my screen, we
the
can show you
reason-
how to heat up about 100 bangers at one time.
The reason you do 4
Oh,
is
yeah.
because they'll do it.
Yeah. That'll melt a hole in the wall.
The reason I wanted 4 bangers was because
Induction
things
use
like blenders
type heater.
that have wide bases and slurpers that have wide bases, you might need a bigger hole. So
Well, I think it looks deceiving, but I think you can fit that in what we just showed. The only difference is the neck that you pointed out. You would start needing to buy bangers that are like Terp Survey ready. And that just means they have long necks. But I believe the hole, because that was my concern when I saw it at Yeti's party. I believe the hole was big enough to fit my Terp Serper or my blender or whatever.
Yeah,
it was just a matter of
not more than one.
It was a matter of being able to, with the neck length, could you really get a good spot? But it was, when you turn it on, it's kind of like, because it's induction or whatever, it's like a air fryer. So it's like,
yeah, it's a little fan. It's a little heater. You know what I mean? It's reminded me of that Mr. Heater butane thing. It's just like a miniature version of it.
But it's just electric, so that's nice.
There's no actual flame. That's a nice thing.
Could use like a heat gun, like a paint tool.
Those get pretty dang hot. I mean, I can melt dabs with those.
Yeah, you think you
Oh, my heat gun. That'll melt a hole in the wall too. Just a smaller one.
Yeah, but you could heat up your banger with that.
Yeah, you probably could in a pinch.
I feel like that thing that you were looking at is a just kind of reconfigured heat gun.
Probably just can't get as
nice little.
My heat gun get orange. My heat gun get orange when I didn't see any orange in that thing when we used it, but I didn't look down in it because it was blasting heat up. So
what temps are you guys going in on your dabs nowadays?
1100.
11. You're so full of shit. If it's a chunky dab, I'll come in at about 600.
That's a pretty hot dab.
Yeah, chunky. Yeah, if it's a good glob, 600. I'm shooting for like Blue Kiss, just 550.
Like a glob is quarter gram, half gram.
No, it's probably like 0.2, 0.3.
Okay, so fat dab.
That's my regular size. Yeah, fat dabs, baby. We only do fat dabs.
Like around between 540 and 560. Somewhere right around in there. It honestly just depends on the consistency of the dab too.
I cannot stand having to grab my torch and reheat. To me, that's like I fucked up.
Yeah.
So like, although it happens, my goal is to not have to do that. I want to rip that, have everything in my lungs, and then clean it out with a Q-tip. So like when I shoot for like 530, I'm like, oh, let me try to get some taste. Oh yeah, and I shoot for 530, 540. I usually end up like being like, damn, I really need to. I don't feel like I got the full hit out of that. Now I need to reheat a little bit.
You don't know how to get the taste.
You change your temperature based on flavor, since different terpenes and cannabinoids will volatilize at different temperatures.
Do you?
No, I don't really.
Well, over 400 degrees, they're all getting vaporized. So I mean, unless you're going under that.
Yeah, but I can definitely like when sometimes the puff coat work gets switched to a lower position, like heat temperature, and I don't notice it. I'm like, oh, that was tasty.
There's
but I didn't get a hit, you know.
What you gotta
So
do
like,
is,
I get it, but like,
there's
also
I'd rather get the hit.
That's what you do. Me and Emily, we're doing this weekend, and it's fucking awesome. You get the grab bong out.
Oh,
you heat up your
mine
fucking
broke.
banger.
I gotta get a new one.
Well, do it then, and then.
I never heard of such witchcraft.
You get a banger.
Listen.
You get a banger. Ours had the she's got the glass grab
I'm gonna
bar.
bring it up.
And so it's got a 14 mil, just regular 14 mil. So that's what her fucking banger already was a 14 mil. So we heated that up like we were do a dab, put that in the grab bong, and it pulled up so much more fucking smoke. It was ridiculous.
There you go.
But it cools it. It cools it down. Yeah, it
Grab
fucking
bong
cools it
dab.
down. So yeah, she's got that's the flower one.
Was yours on? Oh, your video is on yours.
I don't think we should. I don't know if there's a video of me doing it.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Yeah, there is, because Fergal is showing it.
Oh yeah, that was me. Yeah, right there.
Okay, yeah, that one. That one's yeah. I just was like, oh, I'm gonna puke. I haven't done a grab bong in a while, and I'm kind of okay with it.
Grab, dab. Those were dabs.
No, that was those two videos were off of flower, but the dabs. What I found is even with the flower too, is so we were talking about this at a cheap home grow. It doesn't go through water. It's not filtered by any of the water. So you're getting everything for one. And so I think that's one reason why it hits harder. And for two, it's obviously shot gutting the smoke into your mouth. So you're inhaling more than you could ever inhale on your own. And when you do the draw, that's way more suction than you're like hitting it.
Perfect suction. Gravity
so you
is
get milkier
100%
hits.
consistent.
Yeah, so you get milkier hits. So when you drop the dab onto the banger and it starts to vaporize, none of it's zipping up. It's all getting sucked down in, and and that pressure is pulling the concentrate back down onto the hot, hopefully the hot where you were heating up the bottom. And
if you want to make it a closed loop, though, you got to put your mouth on it to let it shotgun in you. That way you're getting no extra air introduced. It's just
that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, but it doesn't make that doesn't make cool fucking videos for
I appreciated the sleek haircut. I thought it was cool to see you go down on a shotgun while we were watching the video.
It's always cool.
Oh jeez.
I tell you what, though, the dab on that is fucking awesome, and it cools it down. That's what I was gonna say. So it doesn't go through this. It doesn't get filtered by the smoke at all. But it does cool down the smoke, so you can take these big rips of.
But the problem that gets me is
the flavor is so much cooled down. The flavor is so fucking good.
The problem is once you get used to it,
yeah,
and you're watching them, you're like, oh okay, and then it gets to that like even thicker than your biggest bong rip,
well,
like
yellow
and starts yellowing out, and you realize there's layer upon layer of this like in deadly smoke, and then it's about to it's not like on your terms going into you, it's getting shotgun into you like he says. So like that's how I grew up though. That's how I started smoking.
There's a give and take to every situation. So.
How much of the like quote unquote contaminant or the burnt flour ends up in the water? Because I know you're not going through the water, so it's maybe
not too bad.
So much, but I gotta imagine
it's the same as the amount of like a old school single perk, single tube bong.
Okay,
it's the same that's gonna get through your bowl. It's still
I guess what I'm saying
is just a bowl on top.
So we were using a screen, so there wasn't anything really getting to the water.
Yeah, if you use a screen.
And then also they said if you throw a ball in the water, it'll float like a ping pong ball. It'll float on top of the water. So even if you push it down really hard, you're not going to get water up.
Oh yeah, that's old. Yeah, the old trick. But I don't know. Mine didn't get that much. Like this piece gets a lot more ash.
Well, what I'm saying is, it's like. Okay, so Spartan was saying you're not really filtering it, right? So it's kind of like getting
because
everything.
It stays above the water.
Right. So, but what I'm saying is, if you weren't using a screen and there was some like ash or whatever that fell, it'd probably stay in the water. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily going to be floating in that smoke. So, I mean, if you got water,
you're not gonna Scooby snag. Yeah, you're just gonna change your water occasionally because it's gonna dirty up your water, but.
For sure.
I was just talking about
the filtration of like anything getting into your lungs.
I think it's honestly easier.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, easier on your lungs. It felt like to me because it cooled down the smoke a lot.
I mean, if you're doing reasonable regular gravity bong, then yeah. But I've never ever used a gravity bong and done a reasonable hit. Like it's just like that. Like, oh, the whole occasion to bring out a gravity bong is to get ripped.
We were just doing.
Oh, no,
hit
I'm
at-
like
we
a
were doing
maximum level.
we were doing whole rips.
Gravity itself.
Three right after another, man.
Gravity of the
But it's a smaller one than what you have.
Yeah, there's 2 sizes, and I think I'll get the smaller one next time just because it's just me. I can just put it on the desk here. I wouldn't mind seeing competition on that thing besides the 500 or whatever dollar.
This one, she got a little bit. The smaller one's
Flippy-dippy
cheaper.
one. Yeah, but
We went
they're
into a
all
store.
Gravitron. They're both what's that company?
Oh, come on, you
Grav Labs.
You don't think they've been knocked off by anybody?
I've never seen. I mean, like, just I'm not the smart guy. Figure it out, like a cool design, something different, a little bit different. I don't
I'm
know.
not the smart guy. Just figure it out. He says. Oh, easy for you to say, fucker.
So what are you guys gonna?
That's why I pay money for the nice things. Just make it. Let's see if I can find this. Oh, they got gravity bongs on the top of the list now. Oh, hold on. They've upped their game here on Grav Labs.
Uh-oh.
Grav Labs I've been buying. This is your typical shit.
Ooh, that looks like a liquor glass on the left. That would fit.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. That's the mark.
Just put it on a
This
bar
is
and
the
no one ever
one. She
know.
has the medium. I believe I had the large. I still have the vase, but this part. So here's the thing, people. If you buy one of these, don't
broke
leave the
too.
bowl inside that.
Yeah, hers broke the same place.
When you're done smoking, pull the bowl out, set it down, clean it, whatever. Maybe wipe this out, but don't leave in there. It does get stuck for sure. And mine, I just could not get out. I tried everything, heat, cool, everything.
Really?
Then it finally cracked. I saw a micro crack, and I was like, fuck it. I wanted the smaller one anyways, but
Those aren't as expensive as I
this
thought they were
looks
gonna be.
huge. No, they're not bad. I mean, look, I mean, for a glass blower, but look,
That
how
looks
does this
fucking
work? This is what oh, I see.
Yeah,
I
it's just-
see.
it's just
Look at
the
that
design that makes it
fancy
look-
glass
That's the fancy on
design.
the outside, yeah.
How much
So you
specifications?
can hide that in plain sight.
300
Height is
millimeter,
300 mil. What's the large?
10 centimeters.
Oh, you guys aren't gonna tell me. That's bad. That's a bad sign. They're probably the same size, and they're just giving us different angles. But that one looks huge.
I feel like it's 64. No, 64 ounces is way too much. I think it's like 32 ounces, the big one.
It doesn't say how many ounces on them.
No,
No,
it doesn't have anything. It's
Well,
stupid.
Okay, let's do a quick volume. We can just do the math. What was it? 300 by 100 by.
Marketed as in the shop I worked at. It was like a 16 and a 32 ounce.
300 mil by 100 by 100.
I don't know.
Well, we don't know the other one is the problem.
Yeah, we can at least figure out one.
Where's ours?
Pi r squared.
Well,
Times
the
height.
Gravitron's 11.5 inches tall. The large Gravitron. So what's 300 millimeters?
300 centimeter or 10
The inches is 11.8. It's only 0.3 inches taller. So I don't think it's gonna be that much bigger. I think they're playing.
Yeah, probably
tricks.
not.
But
Just looks a lot
still,
cooler.
yeah, it'd be like, yo,
You
I
put
got a
that-
Monarch gravity ball. What's that? Let me show you.
Oh, you don't know?
Yeah, there we go. He's got one.
See how much it fits into some sort of a
Comparisons.
graduated cylinder.
Well, now that you got it out, you're gonna have to do one.
Yep.
A bong?
Yep.
A gravity bonger. I wish I had mine. I'd do one with y'all.
I just seen it the other day.
Well, first I want to find out the volume of this one.
I bet I can go find one at like Wild Bill's or something.
Now he's on a mission.
Probably.
Well, what's cool? What's cool for Growly is you can slap a banger on the top.
Mhm.
And
Dude, you
just
can slap
throw-
an e-nail on it. Why not?
You
You
can
know?
slap anything on it.
Dude, can you just
And-
imagine constant e-nail?
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought,
we
yeah.
gotta do this next time.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I'll have to get one.
700 milliliters.
That's not the unit
Hi-
of measurement.
700 milliliters.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, what do you gotta pour it into it? Oh, I see. He filled it up, then poured it into the bowl. 700 milliliters. Yeah, but that doesn't help us.
Yeah, we'll look at the conversion.
I think it's probably the same size. They just probably did some
Well, just
cutting.
bust out the ruler and find out how many millimeters that thing is, right? The one he's got in his hand.
It's
11.5 would be like 280. 11.5 inches. Yeah, see, Eric Jones has a student. That's that like hourglass flippy dipty one, which is neat. But I just can't spend $500 on a gravity ball. I think it's 500. I don't know how much it is.
Pretty expensive.
If I'm gonna spend that much money, it's gonna be on like the one that flips, the student.
If I spend $500 on a smoking device, it needs to have an opal in it for me. There's no opal anywhere for $500.
I got this thing for all of my credit points for buying pre-rolls at the shop.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
I see it like, okay, I'd like somebody to make a gravity ball like that, but like heady. Just make a heady vase and a heady bottle. Put some opals here, put some opals there. I don't know. Put some colored glass. It doesn't need to be clear. And I'm a big fan of clear glass, so you won't hear me say that often. Oh, we just missed hash time.
I ripped it up.
You did.
Not all of
Yeah.
us missed hash time.
Well, nobody gave me a heads up, and my shit's all
You
the way
were
over there.
chit chatting. We were
Oh,
trying not
nobody-
to interrupt you.
Guess what? I
Yeah.
didn't tell you wipe your ass today either. I hope you still did.
I
Got
did.
him.
I did dab your Durban. That was nice.
That is good shit. I agree.
Oh, dude, I like honestly like bag appeal. Meh. I would be in the store and I'd be like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But it's like my recent buds, Fatso and Geoasis. It's like it's inside the concentrate, which I don't see a lot of. Usually, it's just like encapsulated, which is cool. But it's so terpy. When are you Fragoli? Speaking of, when are you bringing back Durban?
Well, it's like week 8-ish of flower right now, and I'm gonna take it past 9. I've got 2 of them in there,
So
but
like
one of
2
them's about 2 weeks behind the other. One of them is not going to be enough to do a run on its own, so I think I'm going to have to wait for the other one. I had someone today specifically request diamonds from Durban, but Durban is the slowest crashing strain I have, and it's just one of those things. Like, do I really want to commit like 2 more months to making diamonds?
Wow.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah. It's a slow crash. I don't know if it's because of the super high terpene level, but typically in my experience, strains with higher terp levels are harder to crash out and batter up. And here's one that if I hold still too long, it will drip right out. But I've whipped this for over 3 days on 85-degree heat, and it still is not battering up on me. So it's just one of those ones that's gonna stay juicy, I guess. But yeah, like Durban Poison, similar. It takes, the first time I made diamonds was probably the longest I ever took to make diamonds, and I don't really want to do it again.
Yeah.
Sounds like a hell of a commitment. I mean,
it is, it's a really 11-week strain. It's really slow and to clone, slow to veg.
Yeah.
11-week flower. It's just like,
so yeah, you got 3 months into it just to get through flower, between veg time and flower time, right?
Oh, at least, yeah. And it's it's great, but I'm not dedicating too much of my space to it, because of
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of genetics, though, I think Baked might be the only one privy to this at this point.
Yeah.
I, for the first time in probably years at this point, I think, bought a couple packs of seeds, or ordered a couple of packs of seeds. They haven't come in yet, but one of them is one that Baked brought up, I think, on this show, or maybe the late sesh months ago. And he was perusing the Humboldt Seed Organization website, I assume.
Seed company.
Seed company. You're right. There are different ones. I don't know if you can pull this up quicker. Maybe I'll just talk about it while you pull these two up. But he brought up one strain, like many in my garden, that is super high in terpenoline that he found from Humboldt, and it's called Raspberry Parfait.
Oh,
and when he pulled up the terpene test results, which are on the bottom of that page, you can see it's like very heavily terpenoline compared to the rest of it. Good amount of myrcene in there too, but so I'm curious to see what this profile will be like. It sounds pretty tasty, and I'm interested in trying things, that have this type of profile. So they are feminized seeds. I only ordered, I think, 5 of them. Pricey, but
Shishka berry and truffula tree. Some weird shit, dude.
So it sounds very sativa.
That's usually the fun stuff to grow.
80% sativa, 20% indica.
Raspberries, vanilla, yogurt. Is that how you spell yogurt?
What's the fruit
from?
Humboldt seed? Oh, okay. Sorry.
Vigorous tall growth.
And then the other one, also
Yeah, what's the other?
Squirt, another 80% sativa,
Squirt?
and 20% indica.
Squirt.
And
I just had some of that dabs rosin.
you're going to try that
geez.
second one right there in the middle. Squirt canoe seeds.
Squirt seeds.
Sweet and tart grapefruit. And some of you guys will remember the grapefruit Durban.
Oh, these are cool. These are cool.
Yeah. Also the you can read into it. I think they describe this different levels of anthocyanins and stuff, but the stalks are super purple and the heads are, get milky.
Bro, the blueberry muffins, so terpy. I've had that and I've had something else crossed with that, and both of them were extremely terpy. So
that and tangy,
tangy, yeah, that's gonna be a banger.
So I don't know what
Here's the
grapefruit
terps
Durban
on
was
this.
exactly.
Carfentanil B, beta.
Caryophyllene.
Or caryophyllene, yeah.
Maybe not crazy high in the terps, we'll see.
We'll see.
The profile I'm looking for is
characteristics
that
was the
energizing,
extractor's dream.
functional.
Extractor's dream.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? That's like some D&D shit. The extractor's dream. You must attain it.
That's the extractor's dream.
That's cool though.
It's rare.
So we'll see. Coming
I want to see what
2024
blueberry
at this point,
muffin has.
Roll
See
a
what
D20.
blueberry muffin has. Yeah.
Oh man, I tell you, we have an amazing cut of blueberry muffin. Amazing terps on it. It is killer.
I've always wanted
Blueberry muffin, yeah, is really not that many terps. High in myrcene, I'll pull it. Yeah. But it's similar, so. But that's their like F7, F8 or something. That's their like flagship. So like, there's got to be something to it. Plus,
look at all those
45
rare
days.
Mine finishes in 48 days and it tested
Yeah.
at 4% terps.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool, and that's a really good zone for me. Like Donnie Burger, one of my favorites is 27, I believe. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully, that'll come through on those that you got there for Goalie.
Smells like blueberries, muffins, and chamomile. That's a cool description.
Let's let me know what you order next week. Because once you stop or pop, you just can't stop.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that. I was able to go probably 3-4
Now
years
we're gonna get a cease and desist from old Pringles. But
Big, this government oasis, man.
What you're sniffing? What are you sniffing?
Dude, that's what I'm telling you. That
I thought you were sniffing a concentrate container. I'm like, I gave you triple burger concentrate. Once you grind up both those strains, they really just explode. And the government oasis, I don't know how to describe it, but I like it a lot. It's GMO-y, but
very GMO-y.
kind of like
GMO, but there's a sweetness.
Fruity, sweet fruity thing. Yeah.
Have you tried Tara? Have you tried the triple burger dabs yet?
Yeah, I've tried them both. I got a little of both.
Yeah, I gave her some of the mix too, the animal one.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the animal style.
Yep.
That triple burger knocks me out, man.
That's what she was worried about. She goes, it not for Goliath. We got to drive home. And I was like, well, it doesn't really knock me out too bad. So you should be all
so different from everything else I have,
That's the big thing, dude. When I switch up terp profile, because I'm gas burger kind of GMO guy, and sometimes I look around, I'm like, damn, that's all I've been smoking on. And then I'll get a berry or something from a friend or coworker, and it'll get me. So I think there's a lot of ways to switch up your highs. You know, the old like switch up your bong to joint to dab to whatever.
Yeah. I think
And
it's
then
important to
switch up
strain
terp profile.
for sure.
But that's why terp profile or some sort of wording of that should be there in the future. Should be the biggest thing in the future. Excuse me, ma'am. Welcome to Doobie Dobber's dispensary.
Doobie Dobber.
You know, what's your terp profile? And even, you know, and they can either say it or like they can give them a card and be like, this is what I was told I need and I'm good, I like. And it's like, I don't know how many there will be.
It should just be
but
scratch and sniff cards. You know, you just go down the line and just be like, oh yeah, no, that smells good. Oh, no, that smells good.
well,
And
no,
then
because
just-
you gotta get the high in there. So it's like,
I know, but the nose knows. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that
yeah.
first thing it takes me to the cannabis is my nose. Do I want to
Yeah.
smoke that?
It might look great, but if it don't smell great, I'm not interested.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, trying to get away. Like, if we're gonna get away from indica sativa hybrid, as like which in the commercial industry, which is the majority of cannabis users, unfortunately, that's how they shop a lot of the time. Oh, I want indica, I want sativa. So, but whoever is gonna have to create a system that's different, but that's better tuned to everyone's medicinal, recreational needs. So, like, whether it's called what's your terp profile or you know what is your, you'd have to, you know, I think that's
Dude,
where we're gonna be
I hate
headed.
to say it, but what's gonna happen, I think, is it's gonna take a giant MSO to run a lot of marketing dollars through their stores and advertising to essentially create that. You know what I mean? They're gonna have to create something.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be based off of, you know, it's gonna be their whole thing or whatever.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The people who don't do that shit, we're gonna, if they don't do it right, we're gonna have to have our own right way of talking about it.
Or we can just
So
grow our own. Grow
what
what
I'm
we
saying
want.
is we're gonna in the next 10, 20 years, we're gonna get to know these terps better. We're gonna get to know, oh, that did that
Right.
that for sure. So we're gonna be able to like oh well, then you need a high carfentanil B and myrcene. Don't look for anything else, you know, or whatever. So like,
So do you think they're
what's
gonna?
gonna be easier than saying that to somebody who's like already this is like talking IT sometimes when I talk to family members and stuff about
Yeah.
cannabis. You're gonna need to simplify stuff. So you can't say you're well, I can't even say it. Carfentanil B.
Beta carotene.
Yeah, beta carotene
your diesel,
and myrcene. You're gonna need like a word like just like in D&D, you make a class. You make a class, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
you're an
just
invoker.
simplify.
That you need invoker terps, you know, or something like that.
So they go into a shop that's just had distilled everything, just distilled into one, you know, one vessel of each.
Yeah, like a yogurt place.
Yeah,
But it's
Yeah,
terps.
you give them your card. You need this.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna start. Everyone's gonna have to start with their own research, just like you start with alcohol, and everyone tries beers, they try wine, they try liquor. Some say I don't like any of it. Some say I like this, that, whatever. But like, so they are gonna have to do that. They're gonna have to go figure out their terps. But eventually they'll be like, well, I found out that I like this and this, and so then there might be an easy way to like, I don't know. Make an acronym, not acronym, but like wording for it, a system, but just an idea. I'm gonna go get my rig. Munch on that.
I'm sure it's going to change, but it's definitely going to take education. It's definitely going to take education of the consumer.
Yeah.
Well, didn't y'all see that article
Oh,
recently?
It's the store buyers that are buying it from the stores. They're all buying high THC. That's the only
That's
thing
what people are asking
that
for.
wants to grow is the high THC.
Well, that's what people are asking for. I mean,
think about this though. The regulation itself forces that because that's what they're testing for. You're testing for that.
Well,
they're not testing for
testing,
terpenes.
marketing,
That's not
all
regulated.
that.
It's regulated that you test for the cannabinoids and not even the terpenes. So,
yeah.
Well,
of course,
when I
they're
worked in the
inflating
country-
the importance of that stat. I think by doing that.
I think that like when you say the word terpenes and stuff like that, it eventually evidently like is gonna confuse
No, VOCs.
Yeah, I was thinking it. I haven't said it yet.
VOCs.
Volatile organic compounds.
Well, the thing
Bubble
is
Man
that
says.
both terpenes and volatile organic compounds are wrapped up under the umbrella of flavonoids. So, I mean, basically, you need to just explain to the consumer that it's the flavors that are giving different effects, because it's not necessarily terpenes, because it's a mixture of terpenes and volatile
esters and alcohols and other things that they're discovering. Apparently, I have
tons of different nuance effects from tons of different chemical reactions, depending on
Like,
given day,
what-
this the plant, and all kinds of things. You know what I mean? So the consumer's not going to grasp all of that. So you got to just get a little more detail instead
You gotta
of
get simplified, detailed. You know what I mean?
you know, the terpenes have been longer than like cannabis has been studied. Terpenes have been studied because they've been studied through aromatherapy. You get
But we don't. But we still don't, like, in our day-to-day lives, and everyone else doesn't use them. So like okay, for instance, what if we named blueberry the strain not because it smelled like blueberry, but because it had the same terpene profile as blueberries? Like the terps that make a blueberry smell, we analyze that, and then they're like, oh, that's that, and that, then it's the same terps.
Well, it's the same terps and it's the same alcohol compound. Like it's anthocyanins. It's like all kinds of different things.
Well, yeah,
anthocyanins.
that's true too. But
like, you know, it's so, I mean, it's simplifying it for the consumer, like breaking down and saying
But,
that.
yeah, by just saying VOCs, all encompassing.
You know, I don't care about that. They're gonna just say it's the flavors. You know, just simply flavor.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Well, that's Red. That's just it, and that's the only way we've been able to find a simplistic way to do it at our booth. And I know this is scalable, or maybe not scalable, you know, in terms of a nationwide thing. But when someone comes up to our booth and they're interested, but maybe they've never tried any of the strains, I simply ask them, and we did used to ask, you know, well, do you like the indica or you like sativa leading stuff, you know? Now it's like, well, what's your flavor profile? And a lot of them kind of just look at us, you know, especially if it's the first time, like, what does that even mean? And I simply say, well, there's orange, there's lime, there's garlic, there's, you know,
yeah,
GMO, the garlic mushroom onion. Yeah, you kind of go based off what they know. Fortunately for me, a lot of the strains are named, you know, lime skunk smells like a lime skunk, clementine smells like a clementine. Garlic punch is pretty accurate as well. Grape fun dip, we'll see. Cobra milk, not so much. But you know, they're pretty close. Adding color.
Dude, I've milked a Cobra. It's spot on. Call it what it is.
We can't talk about that on live.
Yeah, let's save that for the late session.
You're right. But of course, there's so many strains out there that are, you know, have nothing to do with the flavor profile. They have nothing to do with anything, you know. And how many times are they just getting made up on the spot when they're going from a grow to a dispensary and they're just, you know, labeling it something anyway, you know.
100% of the time I've seen it.
So without actual terpene testing or being able to smell it, yeah, you've got to have some sort of thing that people can identify with. And, you know, like I said, the nose knows. So if I got a strain that smells like oranges, I'm just going to tell you it smells like oranges, you know, and you go from there, you know. Unfortunately, that's not telling you a whole lot about the effects of it. But that's a challenging one too, because most things smell like what it smells like to most people, but that same thing might affect everyone differently.
Yeah.
Sorry, Red. What was that?
I was gonna say it's typically. I mean, you can guide somebody in a direction, but the effects are so subjective, anyways.
That's what we do, though. We go down our line of strains and say the name and the flavor, and most people get what we're saying, you know, and they're into it.
And regardless of what the genealogy is off of the pack of seeds, if it says indica or sativa, we go in order of, you know, wake me up before you go all the way down to, you know, it's going to put me in the couch, and how deep is it going to put me in the couch? So like for example, you know, like, so, you know, like there's Afghanis on the list, and you think that that'd go all the way down at the end, but it's flow, so it goes up towards the sativas, you know what I mean? So it's like also got Thai in it. So I mean, yeah, it's a 50-50, but it leans more sativa, you know. So we're gonna put it up in the front end, even though it's this, that, or the other.
We do the same thing. We kind of line them up in that effect order. I hate to even call it the sativa to indica kind of spread of things. But in terms of the effects, that's kind of where it does end up. And it just so happens that it's always fruity on one side and gassy on one side, and maybe a chemi, kind of something diesely, something different in the middle, but I can't think of a single really fruit strain that doesn't give me some uplifting or energetic effect. Cobra Milk is fruity, but not in the classic sense.
What I've noticed is the correlating factor there is myrcene.
I think once you start getting those tropical ones, they get like that.
Purple. I find that more fruity gets, not always, but generally speaking, like the purple stuff is generally fruity, the heavy sedation and Afghani style.
Now, when you guys talk fruity, are you talking like the citrusy or the punchy?
No, because citrus fruit to me is always heady.
Okay.
And a little more
anxiety inducing, can be that.
So I've listened to a handful of DJ Short seminars, and his big thing was always, sativa, like the difference between the two is not necessarily effects or even, like short, stocky or any of that. It's typically like flowering time, most like short flowering varietals are like indica. But here's the thing about that is it's all semantics, because indica, it means Indian cannabis, indica, India. It was cannabis from India, and then you had Afghani, which was short, stocky, grew up in the mountains, but not but it was indica, but it's not indica. Indica comes from like, I don't know, like the late 1800s or something like that, or early 1920s, some area like that. Hemp cultivars were mostly studied, and were mostly thought to be sativa, right? They took a much longer time to flower. They typically, nowadays, they have a little more CBD in them, but who knows? I mean, hemp back then probably had a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And generally it took longer to flower, and generally, like, if you look at the anthropology of cannabis, the hemp kind of went down in about the 1500s down to the South America region, kind of got into Mexico, South America that way, and adapted. And kind of what we have as our sativas are more along the lines of hemp with an additional THC. Like, I think, and I've also heard this from others that, adapting to the tropics down there, hemp adapting to the high temperatures of the tropics raised the THC levels of those hemp varietals. And some of those sativas did I disappear? Some of those sativas probably had more CBD in them, which gave them the great effects that, like, my dad and our dads and other people in chat probably experienced in the 60s and the 70s that don't really exist today.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that taking them indicas and shorten their harvest times to where more milky versus amber trichome is going to give you that more uplifting effect versus the sedative effect? What do you guys feel about that?
I think that there's a point where if you go too milky or clear, you're in the CBG range, and you have a lot of potential still to go within that cannabinoid profile. And I think that is a nuance effect thing that's probably subjective to the consumer. I think that if you want something more stimulating, it's a varietal that you got to find. My opinion is harvest everything. I don't want green tomatoes. I typically don't want to harvest anything premature.
No, I'm saying like fully mature, because white, if you agree with me, white trichome heads are mature trichome heads, and amber are degraded.
That's how I feel about it, and that's what I would say, Red, is conversely from what you're saying, having too much amber trichomes could also mean you have too much CBN, which could be leading to that sedative effect. So it might not necessarily be the terpene profile.
I don't think that the sativas are getting that, though. When you take them too long, you're not. I mean, the sativas are still making you. It's going to add that CBN effect, but I don't think it's with the way that it's an entourage effect synergistically.
So what you're saying is
the terpenes play a large, and the flavonoids and esters and alcohols, they play a much larger role in that. Then
you're still gonna get that euphoric effect with the sativa if you ran it 70% amber.
I take Citrique as far as we can until they start shooting bananas. Yeah, I take everything as far as it'll go. And typically I don't find that is what is taking the effect. Everything has nuance effects regardless of how long I take it. And
in terms of trichome color at that point, though, that it's hitting bananas, what are we talking?
I want to see amber. I'm looking for a little amber.
How much are we talking?
Here, a couple in there. Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't scope. I haven't scoped in years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would shoot for this. I pull when I feel like the plant is done. When it's senescing, it's not growing anymore. It's showing me signs that it wants to, stress out.
Eating, drinking.
Yeah. It's a flavor thing. Like, I get maximum flavor by running it as long as it'll go. You know what I mean? That's if I found that you get grass flavored, it's easier to cure hay when it's slightly premature, whether or not I'm talking premature trichomes, but I mean, if the plant's not fading and dying, it's premature, in my
I believe there should be a senescence.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But that senescence can happen early. I've seen some plants at day 45 and they still got another 20 days to go, and
every varietal's different.
Yeah. So clear.
I mean, they could be fading and they could still be.
Yeah, it could be a root zone issue or some other type.
Amber, or I mean,
Durban poison's the only one I've seen that will start throwing out amber trichomes at day 45, but we'll still have clear trichomes at day 77, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, like to me, like the plant's still growing and ripening. There's just having different phases of growth. There's just multiple phases of trichome development. There's multiple phases and every genetic's going to be different. So that's why I don't resort to just treating every plant the same in that respect, because every plant's going to produce resin in a different manner and it's going to ripen in a different manner, just like all other plants do. Hundreds of varieties of sunflowers, they all behave differently, even though they're all categorized under the sunflower, they all look appear the same. Those nuances here and there are the same. It's similar with cannabis. I mean, we're dealing with Cannabaceae, right? But we're dealing with so many different genotypes underneath this umbrella of a chemotype, and then within the genotypes, then we have the different phenotypes, but there's so many different genotypes. So they all behave differently. So I really just play a lot of it into just intuition and when to harvest rather than scoping.
Well, and after you've grown your cultivars so long, when they're done.
Yeah. I mean, every cultivar is going to start doing something funky.
When I'm growing something new, I generally will look at the trichomes, and
I love it. Yeah,
and I just want to look at
the stalks, the everything about it.
I'm also growing for flower. You know what I mean? I'm not growing for a hasher. I'm not growing for resin glands per se.
Yes, you are.
I am, but for anybody to extract or not to remove from the flower.
You just capture them in a different way. So.
It's not a presentation thing for me. For me, it is overall presentation. And that includes the making sure the flower is going to there's something that happens in that last week where the flower just goes.
Oh yeah.
Fucking thing. But there's also something that happens in that last week when you take it too long, like GMO or something, where it goes, and it starts to spread our heat up, or too close to the light. So I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. Like if you're not stressing the plant and you're not dealing with chlorosis, I mean, some people are dealing with chlorosis, and you just got to pull your plants, or else you're gonna have dead leaves and necrosis everywhere. That stuff happens. But I mean, generally, we're also multi-cropping. You know what I mean? We're multi-cropping. We're not monocropping. So for no reason are we going, I got to pull this all, we're like, basically, if we need to harvest because we got something going, we got to harvest the whole room. So it doesn't even matter when some things are ready. I mean, some things we might need to take another week and we harvest early.
And that's nice. That's nice to have that option. and to run it like that.
Well, that's another reason.
Generally speaking, like if I'm growing something I haven't grown before, it's from a cut or seed, doesn't matter. I'm looking around week 8, 7, 8. I'm looking at the trichomes, and I'm looking, and like people say, how much, which percent amber? I don't give a fuck less how many amber I see. I don't give a fuck less how many clear I see. I'm just looking at cloudy trichomes, and I want to harvest when I see the most cloudy trichomes.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm looking and I see 10 amber and 42 clear, I'm thinking, well, I could probably push a little bit more if I need to. I still got a bunch of clear ones sitting here, but if I have 9,000 cloudy, fuck to those few handful spitterings of the other two, I'm harvesting. The majority of that I'm seeing are cloudy. I'm harvesting, and that's how I'll do it on the first run, and then I can judge it. I can say, okay, I harvested that at week 9, we'll say, and I felt like I could have went longer with her. I felt like after I smoked it, I could have maybe harvested it earlier. I'll make that adjustment on the second run. And like you said, Dan, with your own strains, you eventually learn where they're the best at.
I scope with new genetics. When I get something new, and it's the first 1 or 2 times I'm running it, I'll scope it, and I'll do the same thing where I'm just making sure it's not all clear.
I think we're probably all in the same boat, man. Like a lot of us have grown these strains over and over and over again to the point where it's like, what is the point of scoping it 12, 15 harvests in a row? I do find it a little ironic that we're all talking about this in front of this macro photo of trichomes. It's very, very dense trichomes, which you can see the colors of them, but
all milky on there.
I see some ambers and some clears. There's actually quite a few amber in there if you really look.
It's like a purple punch.
There's something about CBN that I was taught when I was starting out, that CBN like increases or enhances the effects of THC. So I wonder if that in some cases is making it more sedative with the CBN.
CBN is a CB1 agonist, so it's going to give you the same effect as CBD. It's just going to slightly alter it. I mean,
I don't know, like maybe they
sedation,
made that up, but it kind of makes sense. If there's more CBN, maybe it's the effects are enhanced. I don't know.
We have so much to learn about these profiles and cannabinoids and all the things to be discovered still. I do want to maybe put this to rest for now at least. Talking about the indica versus sativa thing, I found a journal from the NIH, National Library of Medicine, National Center for Biotechnology Information. I got 2 sentences for you, or maybe it's just a run-on. The nomenclature of cannabis has been the object of numerous nomenclature treatments. Linnaeus in Species Plantarum in 1753 described a single species of hemp, cannabis sativa, whereas Lamarck in 1785, so 35 years later, proposed 2 species of cannabis, C. sativa, the species largely cultivated in the Western continent, and Cannabis indica, a wild species growing in India and neighboring countries. I think, I don't know if it's Lamarck. Say again?
What about Ruderalis?
I don't know if that talks about it in here, but yeah, I think, I don't know if it's Lamarck in 1785 or someone after him actually described those 2 varieties and like the long fingers and the broadleaves and kind of the areas that come from and all this. And so, yeah, I think we're talking 350 years of, this nomenclature being this way. And if you just simply Google it, you'll find articles written yesterday, probably today, about it,
Well, notice you said that the indica was varietals grown in India and strong areas. So you're talking Afghanistan, Pakistan, those areas, which you would still have sativa-like varietals, right? But even the sativas, because talking about all the different flavors and everything, even the sativas grown back then were called indica because that's just it was called indica because it was a region, not because it was a genotype. You know what I mean? There probably got thousands of genotypes, different flavors. All the different flavors that we probably have today, because that's where most of the flavors came from. There and in the East, with a lot of sativas out there, they're getting all the ties and everything. It's a totally different sativa realm. And then you had what came over And my thought behind it was, the hemp went east and the hemp went west. You know what I mean? And it adapted and it got a little bit of THC. And I think that those sativas, the old ties and the old stuff our parents were smoking, I think that stuff was probably closer related to hemp as a sativa.
I think the best solution to it is to stop using sativa and indica as nouns and use it only as adjectives, either to describe either an effect like a high, like a sativa-esque high or an indica-esque high. I think that works. Everybody knows what you're talking about instantly. It's not really a debate. And then the same thing when you're talking about plant structure, like sativa-esque structure, everybody kind of knows, oh, that means it's probably long and lanky and has the thin leaf variety. You know what I mean? So I think it's still okay maybe to use indica, sativa in those contexts, like it's an adjective describing something. But yeah, it's kind of fallen out of favor as like there's no DNA test and says that's an indica, or this 25% indica, 75% sativa kind of hybrid.
As the grower, you get asked that all the time by the people who you're trying to consult. Is that an indica or a sativa? And you're like, well, genetically it's this, but the effects are this. So I mean, it depends on what book you read. You know what I mean? And that's like the paradox that you get stuck in. So I mean,
we do like daytime versus nighttime. Like
yeah,
we like describe them more as effects versus
because people will look at the name and they'll go, oh, it's Afghani, or they'll go, oh, that has OG, or the oh, that has that, and it's like, yeah, but we selected the variety that's more stimulating. You know what I mean? We selected the variety that's not that. You know what I mean? It just so happens to be the parent stock, and really the term profile leans it to do this.
Yeah, I think what comes really natural and does for me, because I use the same terminology as what Becca was saying there, was like when I tell my mom and I get a new strain, because she's excited as I am to try whatever new strain I'm growing. So and she always asks me, what kind is this? And it's either I either tell her it's daytime or nighttime. So that's it. It's all she wants to know. Is it something I want to smoke in the morning, or is it something I want to smoke at night?
And it's on a spectrum. And I try to, we point out it like it goes throughout the day, if you want to wake up and then any time of the day, just like very consistent effects, not overwhelming. There's like all these categories, and it really helps people, pinpoint what they want.
Because what's funny is like Citrique, for example, that's like as far sativa effects, like, and I mean boost clarity, boost your fucking thought. It provokes thought. It's overwhelming. It can speed up. It make you feel your heart. It's the classic effects and everything, right? But when you get down in deep into the genetics, it's Orange Valley OG. What's Orange Valley OG? It's a bunch of it's a polyhybrid. What's Lime Skunk? That's a polyhybrid. So you have a bunch of polyhybrids. Polyhybrid. You know what I mean? Where's the sativa? You know what I mean? But the effects are sativa. So it's all cement. It all gets into just lost in words. It gets lost at that point without just saying these are the effects. This is the flavor. These are the effects.
Yeah, and honestly, only the flavor is going to be the most consistent because the effects can be different. From person to person. Someone asked about ruderalis. Same paper. Only in the second decade of the 1900s, a new species, Cannabis ruderalis, was erected, whereas the reinstatement of the species C. indica was more recently suggested by Schultz et al. So 1920s, it sounds like we discovered ruderalis, or at least labeled it as such.
Or commonly known as the Siberian ditchweed.
Was that found in was that found in Siberia, or was that Himalayas or
Siberia? Yeah, I think the Ruderalis Mountains or was a river. I can't remember, but that's where the Ruderalis comes from. It's in Siberia.
Actually, I think I know who we have to contact about this, guys. There's two different people that actually determine these labels. The ICN, the International Code of Nomenclature for Algae, Fungi, and Plants, and the ICNCP, International Code of Nomenclature for Cultivated Plants. Apparently, there's people dictating this.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah,
there's a guy for that. Or gal.
They don't want to change the academics. They will not change the academics.
That's what kills me about academia and science and all this. Like,
they're permanent.
I learned the scientific method in like grade school, yet it seems like no one wants to play by the rules of the scientific method anymore.
None shall change. Information stays the same.
It costs money to do science for Goalie.
Dude, it's not even that. It's just they want their awards and their, you know, once you get up high in a, oh god, we don't gotta go down this road.
That's because everybody had to have a fucking trophy at fucking field day, man. That's where it all started. Now everybody's got to have that attaboy all through life. That positive reinforcement.
I got a medal for completing DARE class as a good boy without taking.
Do you have your medal?
Program worked well, didn't it?
My medal. I have my.
Do you have your DARE medal still?
Oh man, look at the flex over here by Fergroli. Damn.
DARE class when I was in school, they had like jump rope for heart.
What'd you do to get that medal?
I gotta find mine.
He knocked down his parents is what he did. That's the only way they give those medals. Is what I hear.
I wrote a.
I got a lion, a stuffed lion.
I had to read that essay in front of the whole freak.
I was gonna say, but I had to read an essay in front of the whole fucking school. I had no clue, dude. This was like 4th or 5th grade, and I had no clue what was going on.
None of us
like
did.
It was just like I was listening to orders, so it was like, do a report, and then they're like, good job on this is really good, and the next thing you know, like I'm having to go behind stage at the school assembly, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, they didn't tell you? Oh god.
They didn't give me a huge heads up, so like I didn't know what was going on, and then I was like, well, I know if I don't do this, I'll be in trouble. So I better read this thing. So I just read my report verbatim, thanks, and got off the stage.
Don't want to be back there not doing it and doing dope.
Did you get a standing ovation then after that?
I don't think so. It was DARE. It was a DARE. I said, don't do drugs. I'm sure half the kids are on drugs. Never know at that point.
If not then, they are now.
Yep. Now, yeah. Now
But did you save your lion like Ferrelli saved his medal? Was it that important for you?
I think my mom might have it.
I was gonna say I didn't save this. My parents saved this. They just gave me a box full of stuff, and I go, "You got it."
I think they have that, but they don't have like my Pokemon cards or anything that's actually cool. So.
Dude, you don't have the new McDonald's Pikachu? It's a $7 card right there. I'm like, yoink! Thank you, 2-year-old. You don't need that.
$7 card they give away at McDonald's.
Yeah, a Happy Meal, bro.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna back up.
I don't believe that.
I just got to break in here.
That pays for the Happy Meal.
And then I'll give it to Tara, who's trying to get in here. But for Growley, Mr. Oh, I got my own chickens, and I'm living off the land. You got fucking McDonald's? Is that what you just told me? And you got it for your kids? Don't say that stuff online, man. People
it's worth $3.85, but I'm still
guys have some
surprised
kids
about that.
and then tell me you're not going to McDonald's.
Hey, if my kids want to go to McDonald's, they fucking go themselves. They're old enough so they can
they're-
do that
they're
stuff. It's not my
capable.
problem anymore.
My 2-year-old's not getting very far.
What were you trying to say, Tara?
Baked gave me a Snorlax card today.
Oh, Snorlax.
When you buy the booster bundles, they give you those. So like that's why I'm like now I gotta go get a kids meal at McDonald's. How many kids meals does your kid eat a week? Like, let me pay for one.
I need all 32 cards.
Is there 32 at McDonald's?
I have no idea how many. Does it say?
Oh man, he's got for girl. You know you got to collect them all, right?
Well, that's the whole point. And the problem is, they didn't do just 151 original. They did like alterations, so you can get full art versions. Like it's a pain in the ass, but I'm gonna get them all.
I just say.
Well, I've got a holographic Pikachu, a holographic Raichu, but I don't have. I don't think it's a promo.
You don't have that. Show that one again for Girly. You don't have this one.
You know how much McDonald's?
You don't got that one, and you can get it for $7. He just
$7 on eBay.
I can get it for $3.85 on TCG Player.
Dang it!
or I can go get them. I can go get a kids meal, throw out the everything else, eat the fries,
Dude, you paid
and then
$10 for the kids meal.
I'll give it to a homeless guy or something. They'll appreciate that.
Yeah, but you'd pay more for the kids meal when you could just buy the card for $3.
How much is a kids meal these days?
Probably more than that.
Well,
Really?
probably more than $3 for sure.
Dude, McDonald's is crazy nowadays. You can
Well,
legit
everything is, yeah.
I mean,
I believe that.
Sucks. It's disgusting. Yeah, it's gross.
I could go in there personally once there was no dollar menu, which was, I guess, college
Yeah.
era, but
Well, that really ruined it.
yeah. Well, I mean, what is
Well, I also didn't like when they got rid of supersized.
They still get.
One supersized fry was perfect.
I do love it.
Extra crispy.
Oh, they never do extra crispy at McDonald's. You ask for extra crispy, it's a bad thing there. You're going to get the opposite. They're going to be like, what the fuck? Somebody
Dude.
asked for extra crispy? Just give them the worst ones.
Dude,
thank
when I want
Morgan
fast food,
Spurlock for that
I go to either Panda Express or I go to fucking that DQ over on my side of town.
Well, Steak and Shake isn't bad either.
Steak and
over
Shake's
there
good
in
too.
area.
If I
Dude,
want
I
to
love
shake
me
with
some
fries.
Panda
That's just
Express.
not on my side of town, unfortunately.
yeah.
But yeah.
Burger.
You get
Dairy
half and
Queen's
half.
good.
Get
Five
half and half
fries.
noodles and rice.
No, I go all fried rice. Give me all fried rice.
Give it a try, man.
I'll
It's
eat all
delicious.
of it. I don't know. I don't trust the noodles there, man. They don't look good to me.
I've never tried the noodles there either. I only do the rice.
They're tasty.
And I'm
Just
even
give it a shot.
on the food.
Superior Buds in the Boondocks.
Sometimes I do the
Oh.
steamed vegetables. They're pretty good too, but sometimes they're really terrible. So I usually go fried rice. I go sweet fried chicken. 2 orders.
Yeah, Superior Buds basically has to go to Canada just to see some fast food where he's at.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
Like,
Oh, that's right.
legit.
He's up in the UP.
Yeah, way up there.
Far.
Last time I had, well, we had Culver's like this year. So
That's
It's
not
been a long time since I've had that.
last time I had any other fast food. Last time I had McDonald's was about a year ago.
I had McDonald's over this weekend, but I just pulled into the drive-thru and got a shake. I was like, I want a chocolate shake, and fucking McDonald's will be fine.
Oh, nice. I would devour a shake right now.
Shake machine's broke. I haven't been to McDonald's in 3 years.
Broke.
Yeah, it's always.
You know what I haven't eaten in at least 3 years is Taco Bell, believe it or
Oh,
not.
I've eaten the hell out of Taco Bell.
Been over a year.
We make like once you make it yourself, you know what I mean? Like just Taco Tuesdays or like Crunchwrap Supremes or even fajitas, like just anything along that, like, you know.
Or if somebody else makes it for you and you just have to shove it in your mouth, it's pretty awesome too.
Oh, I want to make a marriage joke so bad right now.
You can joke all you want. I'm not stuck in one thing.
Yeah, I know. But I like Emily. She's a sweetheart.
I love Emily. I hope she's watching.
I hope she makes.
She made me. She took me to a taco place. She did take me to a taco place this weekend, and it was fucking fire steak tacos. Oh,
Ooh, sounds
so
fire.
fucking good.
I had nachos tonight. They were so yummy. That was my go-to.
Oh my god, I haven't had
That makes
nachos
me
in so
hungry.
long, and that sounds so fucking good right now.
We
Yeah, we're
always
killing everybody.
have food.
I've been smoking, man.
Chicken.
Yeah.
We had a taco place just across the street from us.
Yeah, it's so good.
We always go
So
to.
that's town
We
too.
had chicken legs and crab legs. I was on a leg.
Where's the frog legs at though?
Yeah, should have had some frog legs too, dude. That's totally
Get a trio dip of legs.
yeah.
I have
Frog.
an understanding with
I love-
the shellfish. I won't eat them if they don't eat me.
I
So
think
far,
I'm-
it's been a good
Yeah,
relationship.
What?
What's going on?
I said I have a deal with the shellfish. I tell them I won't eat them if they don't eat me, and we've so far had a good relationship that way.
I
I,
don't think it's gonna
excellent.
happen.
and I have been eating them my whole life, so I don't worry too much about land crabs.
Crabs are no jokes, man. You don't want to get crabs. I'm
More.
Got
Speaking
some
from
friends that told
experience,
me.
huh?
It's
Yeah,
not
some
great
friends.
shit.
More.
Why anymore?
That's
You gotta look into that shit. You gotta know what's fucking coming so you can IPM from that shit. You
I
don't
was
want
gonna
to
say, yeah, you better have some deadly IPM.
You gotta notice the signs.
if you twitching, you be itching.
Oh man.
Yeah, my sign is Cancer, and it's this big crab. So they're my people, man. We can't. We're buddies.
Crab people. Crab people.
I'm a Cancer too.
Well, you're not missing anything, Spartan. All the fucking crabs are crap. Yeah, freaking.
Man, I often wonder why people think it's great that they're eating the bottom feeders of the ocean. It's just like
That's like most fish, though, too.
yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. I don't want to eat that shit
I'm trying
either.
to think what are bottom
I
feeders.
mean, look
of,
at
like,
chickens.
land
Chickens are
animals?
eating.
Halibut's a bottom feeder.
Chickens
Are
eating
eating
good.
the bottom feeders of soil. You know, like
Oh,
bugs.
chicken. No, the key with chickens, Big. The key with chickens is you eat them before they eat anything. You eat them out of the egg.
egg.
You just take them at the egg form. And
But
just bam,
that
they're
egg is
pure.
literally made up of what that hen was eating.
Calcium.
Man. B vitamins. B
Calcium.
vitamins heal nerve damage, and bottom feeders are high in B vitamins. So I like bottom.
So are vitamins. You can just get them at the store.
It's just ground up tilapia, didn't you know?
No, it's not. It definitely doesn't taste like it.
I gotta eat something. I can't eat processed food. It does the opposite effect of what the nerve healing things do.
Just get you a gummy vitamin, man. Chew it up a couple times.
No gummies. I don't want them.
Good stuff. Gelatin's good for you. What do you mean?
No pectin?
I ate all kinds of gelatin in my soup. Dude, this soup was a solid thing of Jello.
Oh, gross! What the fuck?
Down, it was like.
Did you get some bones in there or something?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Becca made. We cooked a whole chicken in a fucking.
Nice. Hey,
a crock
that's
chicken.
good for you if you can stomach it.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, every now and then they're pulling on a fucking bone. I mean, when it cooled down, it was just like a blah 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 blah. just I'm like,
like a cauldron.
We really could have used I kept adding water to it, dude. I'm like, the first one I was like,
We're gonna dilute this down a little bit.
Yeah, you got water, dude. We got like a lot of soup out of that one thing of soup, man.
There's more.
There's more. I've been eating soup for.
It's the never-ending soup. It just grows. That's badass.
I'm not joking. I've been eating broth and soup for about 4 weeks. I'm probably gonna eat it all fucking winter.
We're on just a cycle. We'll get like a rotisserie chicken. We'll eat the chicken. I'll cook the bones, and then we'll make soup, and we'll repeat the process.
Yeah, and the rotisserie chickens. I mean, it's already cooked. It's quick. It's a fast food dinner. It's probably
Depending on where you get them. Some of them are so fucking
Dude,
salty.
a Whole Food ones is only organic one's only $10. Not that bad.
Nice.
Dang.
That is good.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
I guess it's organic, but it's a pricey chicken, man. What?
If it's organic, yeah.
I
Oh,
got some hens I'll sell you for $10 now.
dude, I'm telling you, meat
I
birds.
want no 37-year-old hen, dude. I need to fucking never be able to eat that.
A grass-fed free range. It's about a $30 bird. They go dressed out for about $30.
Speaking of chickens, the Fledge in Lansing got chickens. So today they had chickens outside, and they were just chilling.
They were. I took a picture.
Downtown Lansing. It was so
Yep.
cool.
Just chilling. They were just walking along the little like fence line up on top of it, actually.
Yeah, they're cute. And speaking of chickens, shout out to Rosemary's Oasis. I did this again. Why am I shouting it out? Rosemary's Oasis dropped
Shout out to
another
us.
video. Yeah, shout out to us, I guess. Shout out to Becca. She actually did the editing on it. She's kicking ass at editing. Dropped another video on the Rosemary's Oasis YouTube channel.
I like the endings with the outtakes. I love that.
Yeah, there's a little outtake in there. It's been kind of fun. Catching some
I had
some
a
funny
crisis.
moments.
It like the iMovie or whatever it's called. What's it called? Final Cut. Canceled out on me, and I thought I lost the whole project. And I had a panic attack.
Oh goodness!
It was like
It was
just
there.
in like the end of it.
Okay.
Doing some of the like
It
scenes.
disappeared. It was like we are closing out the program, and I didn't understand what it said, so I pressed OK, and it all disappeared. And there just wasn't enough space on the computer, so I had to go in and clear up some space. But at first I was freaking out, like, I'm not doing this again. Are you kidding me? Are you flipping? So mad.
So bummed out, dude.
This is hours. I'm just trying to figure out the program. So it's just,
Oh yeah. I mean, filming stuff is easy. You know what I mean? It's honestly, it's doing the work to have something to film is a lot, right? And then you get to the point where you have something worth sharing and you film it. And you're like, oh, that was easy. And then you get into the editing part of it. And I have about I have close to 10 terabytes of space on my computer and external drives. Within the last month, I topped out just about all of that space. It took me now almost over 15 years to do that. I've been, interested in filming and photography and sports in college
Wears a
and all
GoPro everywhere he goes.
yeah, just got a 360 mounted. Yeah. But it's a lot. And even to go through it to find what you're looking for, it's just like, it's so crazy. So I actually finally bought it's called network attached storage. It's essentially a secondary computer that is sitting behind this monitor right here. And it is 32 terabytes of hard drive space that will now just constantly store and back up all of that multimedia stuff.
Basically, a server.
Yeah, it's a home server essentially, which I mean you can connect to the internet and all that stuff. But I've done this before. I actually did this a long time ago, but that was part of the having the space. But those were like probably 1 or 2 terabyte drives back then was like the max you could get. Now you're 24 terabytes on one drive or something like that. There's SSDs, there's HDDs, there's NVMe's, there's it's
You go SSD.
No, actually, I just went HDD, but
it's just storage, so it doesn't have to be that fast, I guess.
Right, so it's storage, but I'm going to put a couple NVMe's in there because this in particular, when the Synology device I got, it will if you put a couple NVMe's in there, SSDs, it will take your most recently or your most often used stuff. So like if you're editing footage, it'll take all that footage from your HDD and put it on the SSD while you're utilizing it, like editing the footage and stuff. So it will be a lot faster. It gets up to 32 gigabytes of RAM just on this server.
RAM, Jesus.
Yeah, and I want to say it's 60. Well, it's a 4-bay, so it's maybe 64 gig or 64 terabytes max. But you can also get a 5-bay expansion add on to it. That's why I didn't go crazy with like a 16-bay or anything. I'm like, I don't think I'll ever use more than 9 bays, and if I do, the technology is going to be so far advanced. Like, I don't think HDDs will even be a thing at that point. So I kind of went with what I could afford.
There'll be flash disk that computer is now. It'll be a flash, little flash drive that people walk around with.
16 gigabyte, and it was fucking way more expensive than just the regular fucking iMacs. I can't imagine. What did you say? 32 gig processor?
That's 32 tera. Oh, RAM, you mean?
Yeah, RAM.
Yeah, that has 32. Or it's only got 8 gigabytes. It comes with 8. It's got 2 slots, so you can expand 16% up to 32. My PC though, that I actually edit my footage on, has 64 gigabytes of RAM.
Jesus.
It helps. It helps a lot.
Yeah, I bet that helps a lot. I mean, we haven't had any lagging issues yet, but uploading does take fucking forever.
That's internet.
We've been putting them on a
No, I mean uploading
drive.
like from the phone. Like if I want to upload like a 15-minute video from my camera on my computer, it fucking takes forever.
That's downloaded.
Wirelessly or wired?
Yeah, whatever.
Are you doing it wired? And are you doing USB?
SD card, like for stick SD card.
So you're like taking like a like one of these things, like inserting an SD card into it, and like attaches to your computer. And
yeah. So that depends on the card.
Well, and the connection. So like USB-C is going to be faster. SATA obviously.
Yeah, what that plugs into.
If you got like the OG USB, it's going to be kind of slow, So if you got one that's got a blue USB port, use that with.
No, I just got my computer last year. It's all USB-C. It's all.
Okay, USB should be fairly fast, but.
Oh, you're talking about from the camera? We did both of our videos with just the iPhone camera, which made it easy, but sizing is weird.
Yeah, I got it uploaded to YouTube from your camera.
No, you
from your phone camera. I mean,
no, I uploaded all the stuff onto the computer and then did the edit.
They downloaded
Oh,
all
okay.
of their footage to the computer, edited it, and then uploaded it to the internet.
I see.
What I will say is that's the one thing Matty Cropper had right, and that's why I followed in his footsteps for a large portion of my grow videos. Is it is so much. I wanted to be like Vader OG. I wanted to have that level of production in my footage, in my videos. But by golly, it took so much time that I'm like, oh, let's just do Matty Cropper style. Open the door. Hey guys, like, you know, it's a me for early. Let's just talk about it.
All right. Well, that's the show. So see you tomorrow night if you want. 10 p.m.
Lakes Hush.
Peace
Thanks.
out.
Keep growing, everybody.